Welcome, you guys. I wanted to help you guys understand compliance a little bit, and I feel like it's been a good week of discussing a lot of things. But one of the things that is important to me, and I've gotten a little bit of kickback from it from other leaders, is compliance. And why would anybody have a problem with me teaching compliance? I think it goes back to just the idea that, hey, let people determine what they want to say. Okay. It's sort of like saying, and this is a funny thing, right? Because you guys know I'm a bike rider. And so if I'm ever bicycling on the road, I stop at stop signs, even if no one's around. And it drives everyone I ride with nuts. So they all know, like, don't follow Jen in like rural areas, right? Where there's just a random stop sign and no cars around, because she will stop and it will cause people to like back into me, and it's crazy. So, one of the things that I think for me personally is I like to follow the rules. I like to make sure I'm following the rules. And it would be like saying stopping at a stop sign is sort of open for discussion, right? And definitely here in Southern California, I would say that's true, because people do what's called a California stop, which is like they just kind of slow down and then they roll on through. So that's what we call a California stop. So I keep trying to teach Jacob. Dash is humping. Oh, this is great. He's humping a thing back there. That's awesome. You gotta love live events. He's got his thing that he hangs out on. He's just gonna get into more stuff. All right, we're gonna have to put him in the kennel. But compliance is a big deal, and it's something that this is going to be bad, you guys. It's actually kind of funny. It's his pillow that he sleeps on. So he's a little rambunctious today. So when you think about kind of, the rules are just up to whoever, I don't agree with that, because rules are made for a reason. Clearly there are rules that are meant to be broken, right? Like, meaning there's labeling regulations that like you just have to be aware of and know kind of general usage of things. But when it comes to compliance on a legal standpoint, from a medical standpoint, an FDA standpoint, and FTC standpoint, we need to absolutely know that there's black and white. There's no gray area on compliance. So I want to help you guys understand compliance. Like, there's things that we must uphold in labeling, in how we teach, and in how we speak in public arenas. But when it comes to my own personal usage, I can do whatever I want. And I think some of you guys have these thoughts about, well, if something says something, that means you can't ever do that ever, right? Okay, so let me put this in perspective. Let's say you have your own property, and on that property you put a stop sign. And so it's your property, you own the property, you purchase the stop sign. It's because you want your friends and family who come to visit your property to stop at that stop sign, because you know of maybe some creek up ahead that they just need to stop and slow down because too many people have gotten into a mess with that. All right. You've put a general regulation on people to help them be safe. It's your property. You know what's coming up ahead. You know how to be safe. You know how to navigate that area properly. So you probably wouldn't stop at that stop sign, right? It's your property. That's within your rights to do. Okay. So for instance, if a label says on a supplement, take, 2 capsules once a day, and I want to take 4, or I want to take 1, that's okay, right? Because I'm doing it for me. And I'm figuring out what's right for me. If I want to take an essential oil that I know is generally recognized as safe for consumption, meaning the FDA views this as something that people use in food flavorings, and I know to be wise and just use 1 drop and not use 20 million drops, right? I mean, again, I understand the rules. I'm not breaking any rule just because the label on the bottle doesn't say you can consume it. I am doing it for myself, right? We talked about me using a drop of Osotea Ocotea, if you'd like to name it that, which is a grass oil, which people, I promise you, once we have that back in stock, Young Living will eventually put that as a consumable oil. So the question then becomes, like, okay, does that mean I can't ever, if it's not a vitality oil, can I not consume it? The law is this: you can't teach consumption of those oils, right? So the law would state that me talking about Ocotea in my drink this morning would be outside of compliance. I'm just being clear with you guys here on that. Okay, I want you to understand that I did put that in there this morning, and I thought, oh shoot, I'm being honest with you because I want to tell you what I put in my drink. And Ocotea is commonly found in sleep tea and like all other supplements. Here he goes. I don't know what he's getting into. Oh, he found his little jacket. That thing is super cute. So he's digging now. Oh, Dash, he's so cute. So that's where I want you guys to consider your own research, understanding how things go. And yeah, like a lot of you guys are yellow. If you don't know color tests, you can take Jacob Adamo's test. There's also a really good one. So there's several. So you can take a test, Mark Aceta. So Jacob Adamo got his stuff from Mark Aceta, and then he created some really good content. So I encourage you guys to get his book, Jacob Adamo's book. I think it's, I forget the name of it. It's something for success, but just look up Jacob Adamo, and his book is phenomenal. So get that. And then, but I encourage you guys to take all 3 tests, and the tests will allow you to then determine where you fall in the spectrum. I think it's full spectrum success. That's the name of it. Because CJ just mentioned she was a yellow, and I think some of you guys don't know what the colors mean. And yellows tend to be like, they don't want to like break the rules. They don't want to like cause any waves. They kind of like want to keep it all under wraps. So like everyone's happy, right? Like you got a room full of yellows trying to make a decision on where we're going to go to lunch, and you guys won't eat lunch. Okay. That's kind of the laughable thing about that. So, so yeah, I think that when we start thinking about compliance, we have to remember that there are some gray areas, that things change all the time, but because you're a representative, because I am a representative of Young Living, I have to be careful about my words and what I'm saying to teach others. And what that means is, we have to be compliant to what the FDA asks us to say and not say. So I hope that this is kind of making a little bit of sense to you guys. In this book, the Essentially Driven book, I actually do a whole page on compliance and what that means, what that looks like, so that it is for your protection. I adore compliance. I think it's amazing. And I think some of you guys feel like you're handcuffed, and you're not. So this book is a really good book to get you understanding compliance. This book, the new Supplements Desk Reference, I'm real clear in multiple pages, because I didn't just want to have this. A lot of times you'll buy a book that has some stuff in it, and this, I wanted you to be clear on where the content was from. But the disclaimer appears, I think, 3 times throughout the book. And basically, just to give you an idea, I want to read to you guys, because I know we edited it just a little bit to make it more clear, because we're always trying to make it clear, right? So I'm going to read it to you guys real quick. So this is the brand new one. This was the old one. You can see the difference is, just so you guys are aware, this one has the ARC, it's Advanced Reader's Copy symbol up here. The new one won't. The new one's glossy. This one is matte. This one has a different picture on the cover. This one you can tell because it has CBD on the cover. So this changed after we printed this book. Just changed. Like CBD is no longer considered a supplement. So when the second edition comes out, when we do another printing, the cover will change. Okay. So, but we weren't able to change the cover in time because literally I had a good conversation with Conduct on all of this stuff last week, but the covers were already printed and we can't, that's just, it was already done. So there's nothing you can do there. But literally I called my publisher the day I talked with Conduct and said, have you printed the interior yet? Because I knew they have to print this first so that it has time to dry and settle so they don't stick together. Can we change the interior? And they said yes. So I worked my tail off that day. I am super fast at trying to fix things and correct things. And so the CBD information in the book changed the actual page. So even though technically it's not a supplement, it's still in here because you guys want to know the information. But I took out the whole like how to use it internally, right? Because we can't talk about that anymore. And that's okay. Like people will use it that way, but we just can't educate that way yet, right? This will change. The whole thing changes over time. And so I just said that you would just put it on your desired area. So whenever you hear me say that, your desired area could be wherever your desired area is. Okay, so this isn't available in Life Science yet. Today is the launch day, so you can get it today through me. And that's a weird thing for many of you guys because you guys are used to buying all my books on 31 oils. But because of a launch and because there's so many, we run this through a different warehouse and a different account. So this is specifically through me. It'll say Jen O'Sullivan Educational Tools. It won't say 31 oils. The package will have a 31 oil sticker on it because Tim's packaging them up for me. But you can get this already. So this is available only here in this group and on the email that I sent you. It's all over the place. So just kind of, if you're having a problem and you seriously can't find the link to order this because it's not on the 31 Oils website, go to tim@31oils.com. You can even email me, jen@jenosullivan.com. That's up to you. But Tim's pretty fast at answering because he is all he does. He just packs and answers. So we're going to do open Q&A again, starting at 10:50. But here's what I wanted to share with you guys about compliance. It's really hard to find good compliant tools. And what I mean by that is a lot of the resources that you have access to are non-compliant or they're sort of compliant. Okay. Oh, I was going to read something. Thank you. One of you guys just reminded me. Squirrel moment. I'm going to read the disclaimer real quick. Okay. I say this is a very important, and you will see this statement several times throughout this book. Okay, the protocols and supplement descriptions in this book are based on the usage descriptions from the Young Living website and information readily available online. Okay, so just know, like, this is where we're getting this information. The amount and timing of each dosage are based on the label of each product. In some instances, lower doses are recommended in this book. Like I'll split them or lower. Okay, so just know that. When you start a new supplement regimen, it is important to start slowly and pay close attention to your body. Everyone's body is unique and will respond differently. Oh, we should do like a book reading club. That would be fun. Maybe we should do that. All right. One chapter a day. Okay. Let's see. If a product does not work for you, please try another. Kind of simple, right? Check with your doctor if you are taking prescription medications. Pharmaceutical drugs should not be consumed at the same time as natural supplements. It is best to give a 4-hour buffer between them. Always consult your doctor when you start a new regimen. Okay, this book gives suggestions on how to support healthy systems. It is not intended to treat or diagnose existing conditions or illnesses. Each supplement consists of multiple ingredients. Each ingredient listed has a basic description of what it is commonly used for in the medical and holistic practice industries. Herbs and roots have been used for centuries, and the traditionally studied uses for each are readily found on sources such as, so if you're wondering where all of this content is sourced from, PubMed, ScienceDirect, and the National Center for Biotechnology Information, the U.S. National Library of Medicine, and the Food and Drug Administration websites. So that is where we sourced this information. We didn't source it from like sites that are just random people who say, did you know that such and such is good for this? And it totally isn't because they didn't do their research. Okay, so these are actual studies and research papers that we based this content on. The content in this book has not been evaluated by the FDA. Guys, the FDA doesn't evaluate anything, so just be aware of that. They literally give you guidelines and then you're supposed to follow them. Okay, and the supplements and protocols will not treat or cure any sickness or disease. The author is not a doctor. That's me. And has published this book as a means to have a compilation of information in one spot to make it easier to understand the many supplements Young Living carries. Okay, so that is just to help you guys understand, you know, what this is about, but it's a deep dive. It's a deep dive into everything. And so back to the compliance thing, because we're going to do our open Q&A here just in a few minutes. That has been my goal since the beginning. So I wanted to share with you guys so that you understand. Some of you guys are brand new to me. Is anyone here brand new to me? And understanding that like the Essential Oil Truth was the very first book I wrote for this industry. And it is basically 48 mini topics that discuss essential oils without any of the hype. It dives into some of the hype, but it helps you understand what that hype is. This doesn't mention Young Living at all. So this has become sort of a weird cult following book for any oil user because it helps you answer all the questions without being hit over the head with a company name. Now, you guys know I am Young Living, and that's the only company I use. I've tested, I can't remember now, it's like 24 or something, 26 different brands. And still, to date, none of the brands have even come close to Young Living. So I'm still a total Young Living freak, right? It is what it is. But this book is helpful when you have a friend using a different oil company so that they know what to ask, what to look for. You know, they can make up their own mind, but this helps you explain it to them without trying to figure out how to explain it to them. Everyone loves this book, and it was my very first book, and it is still one of the most popular books that I carry. The second book that came out was French Aromatherapy. This was an answer to that book because everyone was like, I love that book, but there's no recipes in it. We want recipes. And you guys have told me over and over again that you just love recipes. This has a ton of recipes in it. And then this book was what was the foundation for the app. So the EOBar app, which is on sale right now, is the foundation for this book, like where everything came from. And this talks all about consuming the French method, tons and tons of recipes. It's got a lot of content in there, and people love that just because it resonates with them. I know Sarah Harnish says that's her all-time favorite book of all books that have been written on essential oils, which I can't even believe she says that. When she said that, I was like, oh, please, you're just being nice. And she's like, no, I promise you, my all-time favorite book, because it makes things understandable, super easy. It's not like, I'm not super wordy in my books. I make it super concise. And she was like, that one just absolutely hit home. We then got into I think this was the next one, if I remember correctly. We did like these three all at the same time. So we did a whole series in here on make and takes. So you can watch all the videos on me making things like body soap and air fresheners and window cleaners, hydrosols, degreasers, hair follicle spray, hair serum. We even have the Lucy Libido lube in here with her fun picture. Just all sorts of stuff. Eye serums, face cleansers, car vent diffusers, cool down spray. This is like, if you're a DIY person, this is the book for you. And it's been updated and stuff. And then, all the videos are in this group. So meaning the Facebook group, not on YouTube, although we did put them all on YouTube. So they're here too. These three kind of were done right around the same time. So this one I did over the summer, like I think 3 years ago. And then these two, this was the problem with my own downline, trying to figure out like, how do we hand somebody something like the Cliff Notes version of the business that's not big and too much words. So it's literally like, welcome to Young Living. What's your checklist to get started? What is the actual income disclosure? So this has all been updated with the new income disclosure, and it's all exactly what has to be on here legally. Young Living makes sure that we have everything in here. We can't like leave anything off. And then the potential for income. This gives you then the actual compensation plan and how it's broken down, understanding the terminology and the bonuses and all that good stuff. Full spread on essential rewards, how that works, your purpose, trying to find your why, belief setting. I mean, this stuff covers team building and strategies for team building and how to build your team, the Rising Star bonus. I mean, this literally covers how to talk to people, activities that you should be doing. It gives you the back half from page 22 on is a full Essential Oils 101 class script. So this you could literally just read through and help anybody out with all of this stuff. So this goes through with tons of recipes. It talks about compliance. I even talk about my custom kit and how typically I sign people up. And this is very helpful. This will blow your mind when you actually read this last page basically 32 and 33. it's awesome. And then 34 and 35 is just a lot of extra content. So this is a very helpful book for people. And then this is your classroom in a book. So this is where people will pass this to the people in your class, or like I've handed people this on, when I'm traveling, like, here, this is what I do. And you put your name on here. So this doesn't have my name on it. This is for you to brand yourself. But these are all full compliant tools. And then last summer we launched, I can't remember which one we did, maybe 2 summers ago, we launched this one. And this is the Young Living Lifestyle, which is all about, it's not about vitality oils. People wonder that that's what this is. This is everything. This is everything you ever wanted to know about essential oils and all of our products. So this is a very helpful tool. And this has become a very popular book. And the recipe book. And I feel like I'm missing it somewhere. This is my, oh, here, it's over here. Again, because you guys all still want recipes. I think there's like 250 actual recipes that are therapeutic recipes. We're not really allowed to say that word, like therapeutic grade necessarily. We can, but this is like, what are the things for just essential oils? So that's people ask me the difference between the make and take. This is like DIY projects, like lotions and butters and salves. This is like droppers and neat application and rollers and diffuser recipes. Okay, so those are the differences there. So that's just to give you an overview of those compliant resources. We also have several other resources that are very helpful, such as the usage guide. This one is everybody's favorite. I know Sarah talks about this all the time, but this is like the 48 oils that is the usage guide for, what are the most popular. And these are the top most popular essential oils that we carry. And it just helps you break them down. So we've got this, which is our all-time favorite brand comparison chart. Seriously, like we can't keep these in stock fast enough for you guys. But this is just some of the stuff. So I wanted to kind of help you understand like the tools that we carry. They're all fully compliant. We even have really fun magnets that cover the starter kit. We have these new mini booklets that you guys are going to freak out about. So that you could get the entire pack of things, or you can get individuals at 31 oils. But for now, what's going on for the 3 things that you can get for this launch is because this is new and this is new. And so we're going to talk about this in the next talk so that you understand what these are. But the supplements usage guide is really helpful to pass out. And then the essential reference guide is the essential reference guide. It's awesome. So, okay, so the small book to pass out is called Live Well. And so they're just Live Well minis. And if you bought them, I always lose it because it's little. It's a pretty good size like book, but it's all color. Like you'll see like the full kit, and you'll see each spread has like, that's all on Panaway. So hopefully you guys can see that. It really helps you. It talks about all the quality tests. It literally goes over every quality test that we do and why that's all important. So you can get these on 31 oils for about $1, like $1.15 each, I think, if you buy 100. It makes it very easy for you guys. Just go in together on them. There are some products that we are at cost. This is one of them. The other one is the $25 book bundle. That one's that's a tough one to sell because it's just, we're not making any profit on that. We try to give you guys things where it's a very popular, very easy. We try to pack it full of information. This is one of them. So just know that we do the best we can because we want to help you guys out. And Tim is awesome at like shoving extra stuff in there if he has room sometimes. So all good stuff. So it's 11:02. I'm going to end this so that we can start our open Q&A. So get your questions ready, but just know that all of this is available. So you can get everything for 30% off, or you can get the book bundle itself if you want all 8 of my books, including that 9th extra that's this new booklet here. So that would be, you'd be getting $50 off. The retail price normally would be $120 and like 67 cents or something like that. And you're going to get it for $70, and it's the all book bundle, and that's a really good deal. But if you just want the supplements desk reference, it's $18.99, and we're shipping those individually to any international as well. So we can't ship the big bundles to international because of customs, but we can ship these because they're under £1, and you guys are going to love this. So 31oils.com is where you can get any of the random stuff. But for now, and I want to give you this link, I posted it everywhere. So basically, like if you are on, let me post this link for you guys because the supplements, it's a MailChimp. So it's basically my mailer. I encourage you guys to get on that mailing list. So if you are live, because Ada is asking for that, there's the link. And that is a MailChimp. So if you click on that, it's going to bring you to like what I sent out this morning to my people on my mailing list. And in the upper left-hand corner, there's a little subscribe button. So you can subscribe so that you don't miss a beat with me. Everyone's asking, where do I subscribe? And I'm always like, I don't know. I really don't. We don't use it that much. But when we do a MailChimp thing, I don't have a subscribe button except for that's there for that. I know, really bad. I need to get better at certain things, but I do the best I can. Okay, don't forget today, I think at 1, we're going to try and get back on here at 1. I'm going to do an 11 o'clock session, which we're now 3 minutes behind. But I want to be able to get on here and help you guys with, I'm going to share my story at some point today. So I think that's going to happen either at 1 or 2. I think we'll try for 1. Okay, let's try for 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock. Just going along as we can. And is he sleeping? He's been sleeping. Oh, he's so sweet. You guys can see him right back there, right? Like right there. Dash. Oh, I just woke him up. He's so cute. So 1 o'clock, I'm going to get on here and share my story, which might make you cry because it makes me cry. So we'll see how that goes. So tell your friends. I'm going to log off real quick and I'm going to come right back on because we're going to do open Q&A. So get your questions ready. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. All right, bye.